Are you working with SwiftData and integrating it with CloudKit? If so, you're in luck, or maybe you're just working with CloudKit for the first time. I'm new to both of these technologies, and I put off learning them until now because I know that it's a lot to learn. There's a lot of errors. There's a lot of things to figure out. And the big issue that I'm having right now, I don't know if you can see it, is that I'm seeing this issue called field record name is not marked queryable. I'm going to show you how to fix this issue. Hey, what's up? This is Paul Solt from Super Easy Apps. Let's dive into the solution for this problem. All right, so I'm working on this app that syncs some simple data. I've got some recipes for my coffee app, and I've been trying to figure out, okay, how do I want to model this? What do I want the behavior to be like? And I was like, I really want Cloud Sync. I really want to be able to have the recipes on one iPhone sync to an iPad using my iCloud account. And so when it came to that realization, I was like, okay, the file manager doesn't really make sense. I'm not going to be syncing stuff to files. I just want to use CloudKit. So I was like, okay, let's try out SwiftData. Let's see if we can get this to work. And all I wanted to do was inspect my data, and I ran into this problem. Okay, so this allows me to create new recipes. I can just hit the plus button at the top, and it creates 2 brand new recipes. And I should be able to go in here, and if it likes me, we should be able to modify one of these and hit save. And then it should update, and it should now be 66. And so we should still see that here. And so I think that is now synced. So that's great. But I wanted to inspect the stuff online for my coffee app. And I couldn't figure out how to do it because there's so much to look at on the CloudKit database. So I'm just going to walk you through how we got to this screen and sort of the synopsis of like what I think is important and then how to fix this problem. So stick around for the fix because it's really easy. It's just not obvious. So you need to read some of the documentation. So I first started, let's back up a little bit. I started looking at this documentation on my walk and I was just like skimming it. I'm like, okay, is any of this relevant? And so I sort of dug in to one article after the next article. And then this one caught my attention. I was like, whoa, that's exactly what I'm seeing. Like, why is this not like the first thing here? So then they say to enable this for the queryable. And so that takes you to this link on another page. And it's all about how to add it as queryable. But that was super confusing because I get over to indexes and I'm like, well, they're all queryable here. Like I've got all my coffee recipe stuff that is all created from SwiftData. So I've got a demo app here. This is my data model. I've got some transient properties. I've got my main properties. I've got some that I think I have to extract as user settings. And they're all queryable. And so then I went back to the issue, and the issue was we're trying to find the data, right? So let's see how this whole system works. When you're on the CloudKit interface, you're going to have different containers for your different apps. These are kind of like, I think of them as maybe an S3 bucket. I don't know if that's the proper way of thinking of these if you're in like AWS land. And so we've got the different apps sort of separated so that they're not sharing the same data. So this is my sample app. So you're going to choose whichever bucket or database you want to work with. Now there's an option for development or production. Keep in mind, so you're going to do everything in development, but like I think if you're doing test flight or app store, you're going to have to switch over to production. Once you push stuff to production, then you have to be mindful of actually doing proper data migration. So if you want to add fields, remove fields, change enums, like you get locked in. So you've got to make sure that whatever your data model is going to be squared away for the type of information that you need to store before you push to production, because then it gets locked in and the only way to update it is to do either simple migrations or complicated migrations where you have to write actual code. And so that becomes more work on your plate. So that's one thing to keep in mind once you want to adopt this. So that's why I'm working on a test project. I have no idea what I need right now. I don't know how to link all the records and that type of thing. The other thing to keep in mind is there's a public database. So if we're looking at this, there's all this monitor stuff, but we're not going to deal with that. We're going to just look on the left here, and we're going to go down to the data section, and records and indexes under schema is going to be the areas that I think you want to focus on. Plus there's some stuff down here that we can look at in a little bit. So you have a public, a private, and a shared database. So shared database, I believe, is between users. The private database is going to be specific to the user. And then the public database is anything that's super public. Now, this is all associated with my Apple ID. So it's going to be a private database for the records that I'm working with right now. And we're going to look for the coffee recipe. There's different zones. I am going to be on the default zone, which is standard for all private databases. They all have a default zone. And we want to query records. I still don't understand the difference between fetch records and query records. Like, to me, those two terms kind of seem the same, but I guess they're different. So I still have to learn what CloudKit terminology means for those different things. If you know, just comment down below and let everyone else know what that means. All right, so we're going to pick the record type, and CD is standing for core data. So it's appended this from SwiftData, and coffee recipe is the name of the model that we see over here. Then we have all the fields. You can see all my fields are synced. I did add one, but I don't think this one's syncing because I don't think this is, it needs to be a associated type or whatever they call it. And I didn't make that a model object yet. So that's a new change that also introduced problems. So once we do that, we hit query, and you'll see that record name is not marked queryable. And you're like, well, I don't have record name. Well, it turns out there's another property, like core data under the hood is adding a bunch of different properties. So if we go over to your indexes, you see that everything's queryable here. And the solution is to add one more. So you go into add index, and you go to record type. We're going to select the record type that you want to be able to query. We're going to call this, I guess, how do they do it? They do CD and then the name record. I don't even know if it's the record name. And queryable. We'll just play around with this. Type, we're going to do queryable field. Now, you're not going to see it if you have a lot of properties. You have to actually scroll down. It's the very bottom one for me. It might be somewhere else for you. So I think it's because it's just sorted. So these properties are all added by Core Data or iCloud, CloudKit stuff. So you're going to click on record name. You add that. And then we should be able to query stuff. I don't know why Apple doesn't explain this more, unless I'm missing something else. Like, they say you have to add this, but then why don't they explicitly say add record name to the thing? So let's see if this works. We're going to go back here. We have to like re-filter back to the private database default zone, coffee recipe, hit query records, internal error. So maybe it might be building the index, or I got logged out. That's weird. Let's see if we can log back in. Just having too much fun. Okay. Query records. Nothing. I don't know if I have to use the app at this point to like make new records. Let's look at what we see here. So we see it could be making indexes. Like, I know there's certain things that take a little bit of time with CloudKit. So like once you create a new project, sometimes things are not working right away. And you just have to wait. Let's see if this shows us anything. Schema was updated. Okay, so this is me making that change. I removed it earlier just to sort of test like how this would work. So we can see a history of the schema. And then hopefully we've got this working. Let's see. There's just a lot of things to click on. Okay, so if we go back to records, you should now be able to query. Like if I do query records, we're going to have to select record type. Let's do this again. And we're going to see no records. This is the public database, so we're not expecting to see data there because it's currently private data. If I do this again, still no dice. Okay, let's try using the app. again and see if that makes a difference. I don't know if it's a timing thing. The other cool thing is I added undo support. So down here at the bottom, maybe you can't see it, but at the bottom of the screen, I have it so that I can hit undo to undo operations. So that's a really cool feature of CloudKit. I can just add recipes, remove them, put them back. And then if we click the plus button, we should be able to add one more recipe. And then let's go into that and let's change the coffee weight. Let's go down to 21 grams, hit save, go back. And so now the lowest one in that list is going to be 21 grams. Okay, let's put this back over here. And let's see if we can query any records. Nothing. Okay, let's see if we can make a record. So if I want to add a record, there's this little plus button. So let's go here, create new record. And we select coffee recipe and then like type in some things. I've got some, so this is weird. I don't know if this is intentional or not, but I've got some what's the word? Enums is the word I'm looking for. So I've got this brew method. Oh, I do have coffee type is showing up. So coffee type is showing up. Brew method and coffee type are showing up, but the problem is they show choose file here. So I can't actually edit this. I don't know if it's a binary thing. Maybe it is a binary thing. It might be a plist in binary form or something like that because I've got associated types. So maybe I have to get like really tricky about archiving something so that I could like upload a file with some sample data if I need to modify it. I don't know if this, like once you start getting complicated enums, it's kind of weird that you have to upload the file, but maybe that makes sense. It would be nice to have like a editor or something, though I don't know if it's something I can just copy and paste. So then we can enter the coffee weight, cup size, and like fill in some of these things. I don't know what happens if I just hit save, like if it picks some default values for these. So it's going to add a record. Every time I work with this, like it behaves totally different. So let's just sort of see what's happening. So if I hit reload, I think it created it because we've got some timestamps. If I hit close and I query, oh wait, are we in the wrong zone? Is that why we're not seeing anything? Now I'm super confused. Maybe I don't want to be in the default zone. Oh. Okay. I take back what I said earlier. All of my recipes are here. Okay, so I think, was this the one that we just added? Or not? I believe so, and that one's missing data. So that could cause problems in the actual app if I'm trying to load it and reference those different fields. So you might have to be a little bit careful about some of these things. And it looks like this one. So only one of them is a newer recipe. So a lot of them don't have this field. So we can sort of see that. And then we can scroll over. I guess you can use the trackpad to scroll and see all the different fields here. Okay. So that's how you get access to your data. I'm just going to take a screenshot. Pretty sure we won't see anything here because nothing's public. That's super weird that it defaults to default zone, but there's no data there. You really have to. Okay, so then if we do this, you see that. And if we go to fetch records. Oh, is this for actually searching? So I could do Hario. Is that what the difference is? Enter. Come on, someone has it. Or is it case sensitive? What does that mean? Let me look. Hario. Fetch records. I don't know. We tried. That makes sense to me. It doesn't make sense that it doesn't work. Okay, so let's not do fetch. Let's do query. And we want all. Oh, here you could limit. So let's say you just wanted the title and the not water weight, the brew method and the coffee weight. So if I just wanted those fields and we query, okay, still didn't do what I thought. I don't know what the point is of selecting those fields if I'm going to see everything here. I have no idea what I'm doing, but hopefully that helped you fix your problem. So just to review, if you're having issues with it, you're going to have to add the schema index. So you go over here, add a schema, and you're going to do that for the record name. So this will allow you to search it. It will create a field that has this ___ record ID. And that makes it searchable. Thanks for watching. I hope you learned something. If you did, hit the like button. And then my next video, I'm going to show you how to console spam. We're getting a lot of console spam in the app. So I'm going to show you how to deal with that in the next video. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you later.